What are the foundational steps a medical consultant should take when setting up their own private practice?
Number one is to know their target market. Number two, they need to have a good secretary. Number three, need a good accountant. Number four, get a person to do your website and marketing and search engine optimization. Number five, try to use the digital media to its maximum. But taking professional help is quite good because it's very difficult to do it all alone. Number six is try to look for good indemnity insurance to start with. The indemnity insurance is quite high, could be up to 50% of your earnings. But as you build up your no claims bonus, as you say, it does go down. And you need to get a good team of people around you. If you're working at different sites, you need to have kind of somebody who does part secretarial work or help you at different sites. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult.
How do you identify your ideal, patient demographic, and what strategies have helped you to both identify and help you attract them consistently?
Right. First, I look at my profile, what I'm able to offer to the patients. Like in my practice, it's 25 hip replacement, 25% total knee replacement, 25% partial knee replacement, and 25% is soft tissue and sports knee injuries. So that's the spectrum. Now, the joint replacement market, knee and hip replacement, is uh, usually in elderly people above 55 or 60. So I don't go for Instagram or Facebook. They try to address by advertising at leisure centers, golfing centers. And we hold GP seminars and open days. There's also a thing called mini consultation. Wherever I join to start with, I do a free mini consultation for 1 hour where I get to see six people all for free. So that helps me advertise my practice there, what I have to offer. With regards to sports injuries, again, it's a youngish market and other digital medias are important. For that aspect, the website is very important and your profile and the review left by people on the website. But importantly, across all this spectrum is the word of mouth, which is the most powerful media for your practice. Because whatever I do is for life, like an ACL reconstruction. Once you do it, should last a lifetime. Same thing for a knee or hip or partially. So unlike other surgeries where, okay, if it doesn't work, you can go for another one. For me, it's the replacement or things I do has got a long lasting impact. So patients choose their surgeons very carefully. They troll the net, they have done all the homework before they come to see you. So first is to get them to your website. From there, they can see your profile, all the patients who have left the reviews, and from peer to peer. Say if you have treated somebody from a team, they will tell, oh, who did your ACL? Oh, it's working well, fine. On the other hand, if it doesn't work well, it's bad for you. But as with everything, we always tell them that surgery is not like 100% guarantee of 100% working, and they know that. But when I meet them, I try to be really honest with them, give them a realistic expectations. I do not oversell any product, any surgery, and give them a realistic expectation of what to expect. Most people come with expecting a lot, and then I have to temper the expectation down over a period of meetings. Then once they are realistic, then only I offer them surgery. Some people come and say, oh, I want to do London Marathon. Can you do knee replacement for me? I tell them with that one, it would not be advisable to do London Marathon. If they want to do, they can grin and bear and just run on the normal knee. So setting expectations is very important. But in my opinion of the last 30 years as a consultant is the word of mouth, which is the most important. Expectation setting is the most important thing when you meet a person after the examination. What a surgery can achieve is different from what a patient expects. I always give an example of a human body as a special machine. There are no spare parts. You can't get a new for an old, neither can you write a car or a body off, unlike a machine. So we have to do with what you have. Mostly it's like repair process. And I tell them realistically what's the maximum, the best possible outcome they can expect, apart from a few infections, this and that. But even in the best case scenario, what are they going to expect? And I always tell them for a joint replacement that no matter how good it's been done and the success is there, it will never be as good as God's natural joint. So that sets the expectation at a realistic level. And after a while, they say, no, as long as I can get 80, 90%, I tell them you get 80 to 90% better, not 100%. Is 80% good? Yeah, it's 80%. Is it 100%? No, it's 20% less than 100%. And also depends upon the temperament of the person. Analogy I give is like, is the glass 3/4 full or quarter empty? If you are of the nature that, yeah, it's 3/4 full, you will be happy. But if you want to be 100%, then you will be disappointed. So setting expectations over a period of time, like I see them first, before I send them on a scan, I try to set them in the mind that if you are coming back, if you have this is being offered, read about it. You will not be like before, even for ACL injuries. No ACL injury players, even professional, have ever gone back to playing at the same level for the same length of time. They always drop a notch down. Only 60 to 70% manage to do the same thing, but not to the same level across the board over the last 30 years, because natural ACL you're talking about. It's a very specialized structure. The one we do is a poor substitute, cannot replicate the natural ACL in its entirety. It does the job of stabilizing the knee, allows you to do the job through the play pivoting sports. It's not 100% as good as the natural ACL. Same thing with any joints. It is good enough, not as good as the natural joint.
What is the most important mindset shifts medical consultants need to make if they want to be more successful in private practice?
Right. First is to have a good website and have a description of the kind of surgery they do. And also, as I said, setting expectations is most important, and doing things properly. Try just for the sake of doing the numbers. They should not rush into doing things. I always sit tight if there's an option of doing non-operative. I try to be non-operative. If the nature can do the same job which I do, at the end of 6 months, they will be equally good without an intervention. I tell them. So that way you earn the trust of the patients over a period of time, and they will send themselves and their relatives back. I've got many patients who come, they bring their daughter-in-law, the son, the father, everybody. So you build up that trust and rapport, and your patients, if you treat them well, will be your best ambassador more than any marketing, because nowadays people share their health concerns when you go. As a matter of topic of talking, health is one of the most important things. If you got a good surgery, who did your surgery, what are you doing, and then they are your best ambassadors. So choose your patient correctly, do it nicely, and then do not oversell your surgery. In surgery, I call them management. I don't say surgery. I say management of a condition, which means surgery can be a part of it, but what they can do is also important. I give lots of analogies. I give an analogy that say if you've got a appendix problem, you go under the knife, appendix comes out, you just recover and you're fine. Joint replacements, the patient has to put in a lot of effort and time. I always say for joint replacements, I say it's a one third. One third is the surgeon, one third is the physios, one third is the patient themselves. If they're not engaged in their process of recovery, they'll have bad results. Same thing with ESAL. If you just do the surgery, they don't do the exercise themselves, they will not recover. Many conditions in which there's nothing surgical required, but the treatment lies with the patient themselves. Those occupational therapists help and guide them. Another analogy I give them is like university students. They go to listen to a couple of lectures. They just rely on lectures to pass the exam, they will fail. They have to do their own self-study. So lectures are there to guide them. So as clinicians, physiotherapists, we guide them what to do. These are the parameters. And we also make them understand the problem they have. Make the patient take ownership of their issue and read about the subject so they know how to manage the condition better. And most people are clued on. They want to know what's going on. Why are you doing certain things? Why are you asking not to do certain things? The principles and philosophy of treating, and then the outcome measures. And that way, you engage with the patients, and the patient engages with their treatment. So, in fact, patient education is one of the most core important things with the musculoskeletal practice.
What are the key roles you need to hire early in a private medical practice to make it run smoothly?
The first thing is to get a good website designer who can and search engine optimization, and if they can look after the modern methods of advertising like digital media. If they do it, it takes a lot of load off your shoulders, and I think there's a big gap in the market at the moment. I had to have 2 or 3 goes to the websites until I finally found someone who was a medical doctor himself. He set up a practice of setting up websites and search engine optimization for doctors, and that seems to be working well. Number 2 is to have a good secretarial person who can answer your phone immediately. Patients ring, and if they don't get an answer, they will go to the next person, the third person. So you have to have a good secretarial support. Plus, sometimes patients come via different routes. You need to understand how patients get referred. Like in my practice, patients get referred either by themselves. That's an easy one. Sometimes they are referred by the insurers. and occasionally by the GPs and the physiotherapists around. So you have to target each of them separately. There was a time when every patient had to come via the GP. There's only one gateway. Now that's not the case. Patients can book directly with a surgeon. They can Google, they can ring the secretary, book it, or via the hospital's website. So there are, apart from their own personal website, there are many other websites for each hospital. So you need to have your profile very clearly documented. I put all my results over the last 20 years. I try to be as transparent as possible. Some people say a bit too transparent. That's how I want to be. I've showed the results of my last XYZ number of years have worked. Yes, there has been complications. I honestly say that. Any surgeon who says he has never had a complication has not operated. Surgery, you'll have one. So treat the complication low is the main thing. Like in my hospital, I'm the infection lead, so I've got a very, very low rate of infection. Similarly, a very, very low rate of dislocation. The last one I had was 10 years ago. So to advertise your results openly is very important. Not only the number of cases you did, what's the outcome? That's what the patient wants to do. How has been your results? And everything leads to your website where people can read and come. Having a good secretarial support is very important. In fact, I went through 3 to 4 secretaries in my initial phase because I was doing a lot of NHS choose and book patients where patients would ring asking for when I'm having a surgery, which I did not have control over. So I've stopped doing that. I only do private where I have control of when can I see them, how soon can I operate them. I've got 3 or 4 places where I can take them to operate. So I've got full control between me and my secretary. That's very important. Plus I've got 1 or 2 helpers, which I say or pay or part-time at each and every site. And I've got 2 secretaries. One does the transcription. So if one is on leave, the other one covers for her. There are companies where they take over your whole billing service, transcription service, and secretarial service. At the moment, I've got 3 persons doing these things individually. So there's another big market. If somebody can offer that, there are companies there which do it. So they can do the secretarial service. They do the transcription. Transcription means transcribing your letters, and also do your billing. Billing is also very important. So I've been through a struggle with all these things. So now I've got 3 individual people doing these 3. And the good thing is that they can cover for each other's absences. So any person is allowed to have a bit of time off either for holiday purposes, sometimes for personal reasons. So I've got a backup service. So that seems to be working well for the last 2, 3 years. And plus indemnity is again like you have to go on the internet, put in your details, and you take what you get best. And again, by word of mouth, you speak to your colleagues and get the indemnity in place. And that's a mandatory thing. Can't do anything about it. But that's the most important thing. In modern times, digital media presence, if somebody does a search, if your name comes up first, that gives them a link to direct them to your website, and then they can read more about it. But unlike cosmetic surgery, other thing which is of not that great value, if it doesn't work, in my area, people choose the surgeon very, very carefully.
Yeah. 100%. And do you have any particular systems or processes in place that have made like a big difference to like the efficiency of your practice? Either maybe it's like a procedure that you follow in terms of like the way you do consultations, the way you organize your day, maybe the way you schedule your patients, anything that you think that you've learned over time that it was maybe inefficient before and now it's more efficient. So I'll ask the question more formally. What systems or processes have made the biggest difference to the efficiency of your private medical practice?
All right. I'm also a full-time NHS consultant. So what I've done is in the private practice, I've got fixed days for the clinic and theatre, and I keep that routine so that in the morning when I get up, I know that on Tuesday in the afternoon and evening, I'm at this place. Or on Thursday all day, I'm at that place. So I don't get confused. Sometimes if you have it alternate weeks or alternate week in a different place, can cause confusion. You might end up in the wrong place, completely messing up the whole system. So having a routine is very important. And also time management. Say if I'm finishing my work in the NHS at 6, I don't start my clinic in up until about 45 minutes later. So my clinic starts at 6:45 and go up to half 8. The most of days I do finish early. So trying to be punctual, that's very important. So in the private practice, being on time, giving everybody good amount of time is very important. Like for a new patient, I give them half an hour where they feel that they have been listened to. One of the most downsides you hear about energy is that, oh, its time is so short that the moment the patient comes and doctors 2 minutes before they're able to speak what they're there for, they're out of the door. So I let the patient speak so that they feel that they're heard. Listening to the patient is the most important. The patient's story. And most patients have rehearsed the story 10 times over before they come to you. So I let them speak for the first 2, 3 minutes. And then I start sort of probing my questions, and then I give them good time so that they feel satisfied at the end of consultation. So giving them enough time, being punctual in your thing, organizing your day in such a way that you've got the same routine every day. That has helped me. Occasionally, there are systems in the place, in the hospital, which has upset my routine. Like in one place, they have got a digital system where they have to come and check in. It takes 20 minutes. That can, if one patient gets delayed, it's a domino effect and then delays the whole clinic. So, but apart from that, most places, patient come on time. I organize my time better. If I'm running late, I tend to leave the dictation. I write in some shorthand and do the dictation when I come back home. So giving enough time to the patient so that the patient feels that they have been listened to, they have been examined properly. That's the most important thing, patient satisfaction.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Okay, and I wanted to ask you about, like, obviously AI is such a big thing nowadays, and so I wanted to ask you your thoughts on that. And so, do you see AI? The question I've written down word for word. Do you see AI as a threat, an opportunity, or both for medical consultants in the UK?
AI is always an opportunity. We have been using AI throughout the years. AI is sounds like a sexy word, but if you see over a period of time from all that digitalization, computerization, voice to actions, they are AI. And that's an advancement of that one. It makes such work easier and do better. There are AIs where you have a consultation with a patient, like say at the moment, for example, I'll give you just one quick example. I do a consultation, then I dictate for 3 minutes, then my secretary types it, and the letter comes back in 3 days' time. There are digital medias where you uh, um, record the patient's consultation, and at the end of the meeting, the whole letter will be transcribed. All you have to do is check it, push the button, and it goes to the patient. The patient goes out the door, and the letter has reached the patient and the doctor. So they will summarize it in the same, like in my letter, I always write diagnosis, management, history, examination, imaging, conclusion. These are 6 headings. So you set that up. Whatever you have the discussion with the patient, that AI always transcribes it exactly as you want it. So that reduces the time lag from 4 days to 10 minutes, in fact. Not use that yet because of information governance reasons, but it's something which is going to come up. Will that make the transcriptionist redundant? Don't know, but I can. The way I look at it is that secretaries will get something else to do. They will get better patient care. They'll make sure the patient is coming. They've got all the details ready. Like at the moment, the thing which I find difficult is that patients come from different places. They have had MRI in one place, in some place. So if you have secretary have got more time, we'll ring the patient before they come to the clinic so that they have all the documents needed in the place I need it. So that's the biggest thing. So with AI, the efficiency at which we work will improve and patient care will improve. Would it be not nice if a patient goes out of the clinic, 10 minutes later when they reach home, the letter is already there. And going forward, you can have a letter, send it to the insurance company, or all you say, send this to AXA. So they get a letter or the procedure code directly. So AI has got huge implications. It will not take away the work of the healthcare professional. It will enhance it and make it better.
How should medical consultants think about reinvesting their private practice profits, whether that's into marketing, into staff, technologies, equipment? How do you think about reinvesting into your practice?
Right. Reinvesting means first you need to earn to enough to run the service. You have to service the secretarial services, the indemnity, and then 25% goes towards the business tax. Whatever is left there, having a good accountant helps. At the moment, through the pay, once you reach your threshold of 100, you start paying, losing your personal allowance. So having a good accountant to do things legally to maximize your tax return is helpful. With the structure of the limited companies, you can have your family, your colleagues, and relatives as part of them, and you can share the profit through them. Plus, there is a good, at the moment, the rules keep changing. At the moment, the pension contributions are quite generous. For yourself and your wife who's part of the limited company, you can put £60,000 as tax free in the pension fund. So that's one very good way of doing it. Apart from that, whatever is left, if you take money out, it gets taxed. So I have got an investment through my company. So whatever money is in there, I don't let it stagnate. I put it in the investment part of it, where I invest in all the blue chip companies. And at the moment, it's technology, aircraft companies, and it tends to go up at a steady rate. So don't put money in the bank because living in the account is stagnating. So I put it there where it grows. And when time comes to take out, there are ways and means and methods to minimize the tax implications. And the problem is that in this country, the taxation system keeps on changing every year. So that's how I do it. In terms of investment, I can either put in an investment trust where you don't have to worry about it. I do my self investment because that's my hobby. That's kind of thing. Rather than giving to someone, I just do it myself. And over a period, last 20, 30 years, it's been better off rather than putting in an investment trust. So and that gives me something to do in my free time.
Like I said, all the clinicians that follow me are people who want to have like a successful private practice, right? And so, in your view, what separates a thriving medical private practice from one that struggles?
Somebody who's savvy with the digital media and the modern technology, they do better. I can see my colleagues around me. Some people who are very savvy, they are doing really well. Digital media, markets, engine optimization, those kind of things. And if some professional takes care of that, it's easy because we have been not been trained to do that. We are from the old school. That somebody takes that professional side of things from us. That okay, we'll set your website. I'll do that. It takes a lot of headache off your head. There are companies who say, okay, charge you a block 10 or 20% of practice, we do everything together. There are companies which charge even more than that. But some people would want not all of it, would want part of it. So I would certainly have someone who can do the digital side of things, marketing, so I can concentrate on the job which I do best, not the marketing side of things. And once the patient comes, then I can create a rapport with the patient and then they become your best ambassador. But for the initial ones, a good marketing strategy done by professionals is the best thing.
Yeah, agreed. Amazing.